5150 interview series. Jimmy Cabs, and his hair was perfect. This gentleman right here, the innovator, the master innovator of black metal, the one and only MANTAS. MANTAS back in Los Angeles, back in the United States. How you doing?
I'm doing very, very well. Shows have been great so far. Everybody's pumped for tonight, so let's see what happens. Shows have been, they've been packed. They've been absolutely packed. Good few sellouts. It's been great.
This goes out to the old Venom's Legions. As a matter of fact, there's one over there. Back in 1985, every time I talk to you, I always discuss this. Back in 1985, a very slender, slim, non-diabetic, very, very attractive, young, positive man took a bus all the way to the Hollywood Palladium. That was the first Venom tour of the U.S. Here we are, 30-something years later. Let me say this. Hard work, dedication, sincerity. You've been touring the United States back to back. Now you're back, and with a new record. Yes. Let's talk about the new record. Ave?
Ave.
Nuclear Blast came out in August. How did you feel not only writing that material, recording it, but then releasing it to the mass audience? Did you have any anxiety? Were you excited? Talk to me about that.
God, yeah. I mean, it was... For me, it's nice to see all the critical acclaim of the album, and I haven't read one single bad review of this album. Everybody's saying how great it is, but again, for me, it's always down to what the fans perceive about the album. You know, how are they going to take it? And every single fan that I've had a message from, or signed an album for, or just spoke to them about the album, say, this is a Venom album. It's great. We love it. It's, you know...
Was there any doubt? Why wouldn't it be a Venom album?
It's just me at the end of the day. I mean, for me, it was a stressful period of writing. You know, there was in excess of 25 songs written for the album. A lot of them were in various stages of completion. But, I mean, I spent, months in my studio just writing and writing and writing and writing. And I remember having a conversation with a Demolition Man one day on Skype, and we were talking about the writing side, and I was sending him stuff, and I said, is this going in the right, he says, look, be who you are, do what you do, and play what you play. That's all we need, you know?
It's the way you've always been.
Well, that's it, and I can only do what I do at the end of the day, which, by all accounts, has turned out to be a great Venom album. So, I'm pleased with it.
Let me just say this, and I really don't want to sound like a fanboy or anything, but the reality of the situation is I am. I'm just a 47-year-old fanboy. But let me just say this from the professional aspect. There's a lot of pressure with an artist like yourself, an iconic artist who not only created a genre of music. Boom, what a reality check. We were just asked to leave a certain establishment. Is that a reality check or what? I mean, the Frank Sinatra of fucking black metal... And we're asked to leave. All right, whatever. Legality is whatever. Anyways, as I was saying, I can only imagine as an iconic musician and artist like yourself, the pressure that you must have when you're writing new material, because it has been for a while now, and under the banner of Venom Inc. Were there any pressures, or did it come natural?
I would say at first there was a bit of pressure to come up with the stuff, but once I got into the flow, it honestly did all happen naturally.
How did you stay uncontaminated, though? Not only from, because what you created, and I say that sincerely, and anyone that is a real fan knows this, what you created has evolved into multi-genres of extremity. How did you remain uncontaminated, and how did you preserve the traits of Venom Inc. for this new record?
Basically, I'm old school. That's the way it happens.
Keep it real.
Yep.
There you go, kids.
At the end of the day, I'm all about songs. I'm all about choruses. I always write a song with the audience in mind as well, where they can join in. Which, a lot of modern metal, it just seems to be
monotonous.
Well, it's to me, a lot of the time I think, well, where's the song? You know, where's the audience part? You know, it's great to be in the pit and, you know, they're smashing each other to bits, but...
I know you won't say this on record, but do you get pissed off when you hear your riffs rewritten fucking and going, that's my riff?
I mean...
Let's move on.
You know, it's... At the end of the day, it's flattery, I suppose, you know, when you listen to something and you think, oh, that's got a tinge of this or a tinge of that. Because I'll admit, I've done it myself, you know, there's little bits of nod and a wink, you know. It's all the same stuff at the end of the day, but I think the other thing that helped with the writing of this album was that the fact that we'd done in excess of 250 shows playing the old classic material. So I was sort of back into that groove of playing the old stuff.
Yeah.
And then when it came to writing the album, I didn't look back and think I need a song like Countess Bathory or Witch an Hour or Black Metal, because those are moments captured in time. There'll never be another one of those songs.
Good. I'm glad glad that you followed that, because that is the key right there. Not being repetitive. No. And by the way, all the vultures were waiting for you to make that mistake.
Yeah, I think I mean, Tony put it, Demolition Man, he put it perfectly. He says, you know, if you plagiarize yourself, then people are going to know that you're fake.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there was no looking back. It was just, you know, sit down and play the fucking guitar and see what happens. And I recorded hundreds and hundreds of riffs. I mean, from one tour, it was Europe, America, or some tour, I came back home and I loaded 84 guitar riffs from my mobile phone.
Wow.
That were just, you know, played in backstage areas, on the bus or in hotels or whatever. And a good portion of those riffs have made it onto the album. You know, stuff that you do in sound check where you're just jamming about and you think, oh, I'll keep a hold of that, I'll remember treasure, that, right? You know, yeah. And you've got to do that. I mean, even with the lyrics, there's a good few times I was out with my girlfriend shopping, you know, and we'd go to a cafe and sit down for a coffee or something, or we'd be, you know, waiting for a bus to go home, and the mobile phone would come out and she was going, what the hell are you doing now? You know, it's like, 2 seconds, babe, I've got some lyrics. You know, it's like, so even the phone now is just still full of the lyrics from Abe, you know, from various songs.
Technology, yeah. You dumped the notebook too?
Yeah, you can't lose these things, you know, you just can't lose it. Yeah. So anything that comes to you, you've got to capture it, and, you know, fortunately with today's technology, you can do, you know. But at the end of the day, when it was all mixed, and I mean, I had that bit pressure as well, you know, when I was mixing the album, and then I had to master the album, and then delivering it to Nuclear Blast. That was the big stressful point.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that label is a perfect label because it's music fans working in the industry, unlike the 80s.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, you've got such a prestigious label as Nuclear Blast, and I'm delivering something to them.
Wow, you're very...
And it's like, wow, you know, and then when the word came back that they loved it, it was a big sigh of relief, you know. So